Hi guys, and welcome to the first workout of the week, ECA session, obviously with myself here and Mr. Newbery. The aim of today's session is that we're going to give you a warm-up to do, which we'll all do. We've then got two separate skill-based exercises in terms of our fitness that we're going to go through, and you will then have some time to have a go at some of those, and then we're going to finish with a workout of the day, incorporating all of those exercises and some others. We won't keep you waiting, guys. We're going to get started. We're going to get straight into a warm-up. If you've got a skipping rope, it would be great if you can use that. Mr. Newbery will do the warm-up using a skipping rope. If you haven't, you can do it just without, and I will be doing that. So you can follow either myself or Mr. Newbery in what we do. Okay, guys, good luck. Have fun. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we'll start with some running on the spot, guys. Okay, we'll bring the knees up at the front now. Exactly the same on the rope. Bring those knees up. Okay. We're now going to some spotty dogs. So arms forward. Mr. Newbery just throw his rope. Exactly the same on the skipping rope. Much more difficult with the rope. Have a go at it if you can. And to jumping jacks. Good. Back to our own spot. And the knees up at the front. Spotty dogs. And jumping jacks. And relax there, guys. Now, guys, our move we are going to be doing today is we are going to be squatting. So we're just going to do a couple of warm-up squats, making sure we've got the correct position. So first of all, when we're just warming up with our squats, feet should be about shoulder width apart, okay, slightly wider. We turn our toes out ever so slightly, okay, so that then when we go down, our knees will go over our toes. Now as we squat, we're going to work on pushing our bum back, and we're going to work on keeping our chest up, okay. So I'm going to engage my core nice and tight, I'm going to push my bum back, keep my chest up, and I'm just going to go down until I'm about 90 degrees at my knees. So let's go down and hold. Okay, now if you notice that here my knees are going over the line of my toes. My knees aren't in here and they're not too wide. So a nice solid position. Notice Mr. Newbery's got a nice straight back there, keeping his chest up. And come up. Okay, we'll try that one more time. Again, engage the core, bum back, chest stays up. And down. Excellent. If you can get to 90 degrees, that's great. If you're a little bit higher, that's okay. Okay, whatever is comfortable. Now what we're going to do is just do sort of 3 or 4 in your own time. Hold at the bottom, maintain control, and then come back up to the top. So 3 or 4 in your own time.
Making sure our heels are on the floor every time, guys. So make sure those heels push up through your heel. Making sure we're slow, controlled, and focusing on technique.
Okay, shake it off. Ready to go into our session. Guys, if you need to pause now and take a quick drink, you can do that, okay? But then we're going to carry on working through the session. So what we're going to look at today, one of the techniques, is going to be the overhead squat. And I'm going to hand over to Mr. Newbery, who's going to talk through the overhead squat.
Okay, so as we mentioned in our briefing, you do need to have a pole. We've got some great ones here that have the end cut off, but if you've got a mop on the end of it, that's no problem. If you've got a brush or anything on the end, no problem. We just want a long, straight bar. Okay, so Mr. Hodnett is going to be the one demonstrating the squat. So we're starting off with the same pattern as we did beforehand. Feet in the same position, feet slightly outstretched, a little bit wider than straight, and we're looking for shoulder width apart. The bar starts off wider than shoulder width, so in a comfortable position above your head. And what we're looking to do is it should be, your head should be in front of the bar, and I'll show you that when I demonstrate in a moment. We're going to go down the squat, exactly the same technique, pushing our butt back first, okay, keeping that bar above our head. You can see that Mr. Hodnett's in a really strong position. He's got his knees bent at 90 degrees, his knees are over his feet, and now please sir, lovely, nice straight back, keeping upright, looking forward all the time. Okay, so let's try that one more time please sir. Okay, looking nice and strong, nice and controlled, there's no weight here, it's all about technique at the moment. And back up, perfect. So it's just the same technique, the only difference is we're looking to push our head through the bar, and I'm going to show you what that looks like now.
Okay guys, so what you'll see what Mr. Newbery does is really important, is that he's putting his head forward. Now what this means is, as you can see in the alignment, is that the bar is staying over Sir's weight. So the bar is back here and it's over Sir's legs that he's going to push up through. Common mistake, which we'll see here, is that we allow the bar to move forward. Now if you can imagine, with a weight on the bar, we wouldn't be able to hold that in front of us. So it's really important that you do keep that bar up and you keep it behind the head or the head in front so that the bar stays over the weight of your knees. Now this is a really important one guys, to work at this technique on, okay? And go slow and go steady. The other common mistake, okay, people do, is they start to arch their back. They work so hard to get the bar behind their head, okay, that they start to arch their back and lean back. The second we start arching our back, we lose that control, that tension, and that stability, and the squat can become dangerous. So what we're advising that you do is work at it with just the stick. If you've got any weight, don't put it on at the moment. Work at the technique of keeping that bar above your head or above your knees, okay, but maintaining that same body position that you kept in the normal squat. To demonstrate that, I'm going to do a side-on squat without this. Mr. Newbery will do it with the bar, and what you will see is both of our body positions are fairly similar. Okay? So when we go down into this position, if you notice my back is nice and straight, Mr. Newbery's back is exactly the same. The only difference is Sir is doing the overhead position. So in terms of the formation of his body, nothing has changed there.
Just remember this guys, everyone's body is different, and so the incline or decline or your body may differ. For me, you can see there that I'm slightly leaning forward a bit more, and that might be because of my ankle, my knee or my hip mobility. Mr. Hodnett had a more of an upright position is what we're aiming for, but everyone's body is different, everyone's anatomy is different, so as long as we keep the bar above our head, as long as we keep our knees over our toes, and as long as we keep our knees out, we're demonstrating a good technique.
Guys, what we're going to do now is if I could ask you now to pause in a second the video, and we're going to set you the task of going away and completing 3 sets of 8 repetitions of an overhead squat. This is not about anything other than mastering the technique. Okay? If you've got a mirror to do your squats in, that is absolutely fantastic. If you want to take the time and video it from the side on the front on position, okay, to check, then that is absolutely brilliant. But you've now got, I would give you about probably about 8 minutes, okay, taking rest in between to do 3 or 4 sets of 8 repetitions. So pause now, good luck, and I hope you have fun with that exercise. Okay guys, hopefully you had fun doing the overhead squats there, and that's worked out well for you. What we're now going to move on to is our second style of squat technique, and this one is going to be a goblet squat. Now for the goblet squat, what you will do is you will have some form of weight held in front of you, and that weight will be dropped down, so you are going to basically dangle that weight, okay, with a straight arm and hold it in front of you. So as per again the instructions, you will need some form of weight to do this. If you really haven't got a weight, okay, that's okay, you can do it without. But a range of weights that we've got here, we've got a dumbbell, as you can see, a kettlebell, or a big metal noticeable. It may be that you have a big water bottle, okay, or a heavy object around the house that you can hold to do that. So anything will work, okay, just making sure that the weight is appropriate for you. So Mr. Newbery is going to take us through the goblet squat technique, and we'll go from there.
So what are you going to use? Well, we're going to go with a dumbbell then for Miss Hodnett. So first of all, again, we go for the same setup. We've got our feet shoulder width apart and our feet out slightly. Okay? We're then going to use a weight, as Mr. Hodnett said, that's appropriate for us, and we're going to pick that weight up. Alright, now the way we hold it for this is, which one are you going to do? Is you can hold it down there?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one you can hold it in between your legs, like Mr. Hodnett's doing there. Okay, and what we're doing is lowering ourselves, holding it up, keeping our arms nice and straight, putting your butt backwards first, and lowering yourself into the squat, keeping a nice straight back. Nice and controlled there, until the weight touches the floor, and then back up again. You see he's in a really nice strong position, holding that weight with straight arms, and we're looking good there. Alright, so excellent. So same technique as before, we're just holding the weight like so. Now another possible way, and then if I demonstrate this one, so we might wish to hold the weight with our fingers upwards like this. Now this might be for a lighter weight perhaps. You know, it might feel not right if it's, the weight is too light to hold it down below like that. And so this time we hold it with our palms and our fingers facing upwards. I'm going to do a sideways on. Okay.
So guys, is that just because the grip's changed, exactly the same is going to happen with Mr. Newbery's squat. Now what you will find here, slightly different to if you did a squat with weight on your back, or even the overhead squat, is that now we've loaded the weight on the front of Sir's body, okay, which actually changes his centre of mass and centre of gravity. And what's happening is the weight is wanting to pull Sir forward, it's wanting to pull his chest down and pull his bum back, making him bend more at the hips. So we've really got to concentrate on this squat, and Mr. Newbery is really going to concentrate on maintaining the tension in the back, which is going to allow him to stay in upright position with his chest facing forward. Okay? So as you can see there, Sir's gone down, he's maintained his chest is forward, his head is up. So we just shows a bad one if the weight was to get carried away. So you can see there a bad one would be if Sir just allowed the weight to pull him forward, lost tension in the back, okay, and he ended up just going down forward. Okay? So that is our goblet squat. Exactly the same thing can happen, guys, if you just had something big, okay, and you can choose to either hold it up here where Mr. Newbery did, or hold it down between your legs, okay, and we can go exactly the same technique there. Okay, guys? Recap of the squat, bum goes back, knees go over your toes, and the chest stays up. So guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to give you again about 6 to 8 minutes on this one to go away, and we would like you to complete 3 or 4 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. Again, this is not about who can lift the heaviest weight. It is not about who can race through it the quickest. This is about getting that technique right, okay, making sure you've got a stable and controlled movement through the entirety of your squat. Okay? So if you pause your cameras now, pause the video, okay, go away and have a go at that, and we look forward to seeing you shortly.
Alright then guys, so you should have done those goblet squats. I hope they went well. I hope you demonstrated some excellent techniques. So we're going to go for the final workout, or final element of today's workout, and that is the WOD, the workout of the day. And so what we're going to do for this part of the session is work on some of the key squat exercises that we did earlier, but also incorporating some other movements to try and make it more of an all-round and body workout. So for this workout, it is done for time. So for this, it'd be great if you are able to record your time, press start once we give you the instructions, and what we would love to hear is how fast you were able to complete this workout. It'd be great to hear how well you did. Okay, so there are 4 elements to this, if I show the right number of fingers. Okay, 4 elements. The first one are vault burpees. And so for this exercise, you're going to get your broom, or your broom handle, whatever you've got, and you are going to, you're going to put it sideways, like so, Perfect. Yep, so we're going to go down and do a burpee. Burpee with our chest touching the floor. As we come up, we're going to vault over the stick. So it should look a little something like this. Go down, chest touch the ground, up, and then over. We go down, chest touch the floor, up, and over. Okay, and we're going to do that 5 times. Remember, all the instructions for this workout of the day are in the details on the slides for this activity. So 5 of them. The next one we're going to do are some long arm crunches. Some long arm crunches. So for this activity, just going to move that to one side so it's not in the way. And what I'm going to be in position, I'm going to bring my knees up into a tabletop position. Okay, my arms straight behind me there, and I'm going to bring my arms up like so.
Guys, you can see there, Mr. Newbery is really working on getting his shoulders up. Okay, he's not just swinging the arms forward, he's working on driving those shoulders up to engage the crunch.
And it's 10 of those. Okay, so 10 of those is what we're doing, and then we're going to move on to your choice. Which one you prefer, whether it's the overhead squat that we worked on earlier, or whether it's the goblet squat. And so you choose your piece of equipment. I'm going to do the overhead, Mr. Hodnett is going to do the goblet, and we're going to go for 15 reps of this activity. So it's recommended, definitely don't go for a heavy weight during this exercise, go something that you're going to be able to complete for quite a few reps. Okay, so are we ready to do 15 reps then? Okay, here we go then. So in that position, 15 reps. Just because we're trying to do it for time doesn't mean we need to lose our technique. In synchronization, unbelievable. 14, 15. Okay, so that's our third exercise of the workout of the day. And to add a bit of cardio for the last one, we're going to go for 20 high knees. Really important. We're going to be tired during this exercise, especially when you get to the 5th round of this. So slow it down by all means. Do what you need to, but make sure you keep those knees nice and high. On your toes for a bit more of a cardio workout. So we're going to go 20 high knees. Ready, sir? Ready? Off we go. Okay. So, you've got those 4 exercises. You're going to do 5 rounds of them. Now, you're trying to do it as quickly as possible. That means that you can rest at any point. Okay? It's a race against yourself, not against anybody else. So if you need to take a water break, take one. If you feel pain at any point, please stop immediately, okay, and rest and recover. Okay? So last thing from us is you're going to be working very hard during this workout, without a shadow of a doubt. We're working the big muscles of our legs, okay, especially during the workout of the day, you're going to be really building up a lot of lactic acid in those legs and the rest of your body. So please, please, please do a cool down at the end. We're looking for a few laps of your room or wherever you're trying to do it, walking around slowly, okay? And then after that, we'll look at doing some whole body stretches, such as quad stretches, looking at some hamstring stretches, calf stretches, and looking for some, also because we are working the shoulders, some shoulder stretches or tricep stretches here, shoulder ones across here, maybe some arm swings at the end. Okay. Okay. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the first workout of the week. Please give us some feedback if you enjoyed it. We would love to provide a workout which is suited to you. But yeah, hopefully you've had a go at it and you've learned something from today. We look forward to seeing you next week, and next week we will have a different skill element and also some tweaks on the workouts that we're going to be doing. So it'll be very different. Yeah, hope you're enjoying it. Stay safe, keep working hard guys, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers guys, bye-bye. See you guys.